This episode of Little Busters had me so freaking emotional. I mean, it was really emotionally sad. Holy shit! That was a throw. Holy crap! Damn, Kingo, you got a freaking arm! Oh my god, you got hit in the face. Oh! Oh no, it's the freaking hand. Oh god, that hand. This episode, it reveals a little bit about the secret of the world and what exactly is going on in this time loop world. As I could probably already guess a couple episodes back, it looks like the world is doing a loop and repeating itself. And they go to explain it that Kyosuke, Kingo, and I'm guessing Masato remember exactly what happened beforehand in the other world when, Kyosuke, Kingo, Masato, and Riki was fighting off in the baseball game to who would win. Huh? So I am correct. So that's the secret of the world? Everything keeps repeating over and over again? That's it? That was quite obvious to begin with. I see. Kingo's goal is to break out of this constant reset, so he's doing anything he can against it to try to change the world's actual logic, I'm guessing. But anything he tries doesn't work. And so, basically, since they remember that and Kyosuke remembers it, this world is completely different. The only people that don't know exactly what's going on is Riki and Rin. Now, the big question about this episode exactly is, why do they not remember it? And what is the true secret of this world? There's more stuff to the secret of the world than just what meets the eye. The reason why I can say that is because I say time loops. I don't think that's exactly the full extent of the secret of the world. So really, I'm curious exactly what was Kyosuke trying to accomplish getting Rin and Riki trying to grow up as an adult. I understand in a logical sense why he would try that, but what was his true goal? And how did Riki and Rin fall into darkness the way Kingo said about Kyosuke? So right there, that makes me a little bit weirded out. I'm like, what the hell is going on in that entire part? But I'm starting to see exactly where the actual story is going and what is going on. And supposedly, Kingo states in this episode that when he was doing the baseball game, which was a complete, basically, rematch of what happened a couple episodes back with Kingo and Riki working together against Masato and Kyosuke, it was completely the opposite. Riki versus freaking Kingo, and it felt like an entire rematch of that entire scene, except it wasn't raining and I wasn't crying half to death from call game. But what made it so interesting is that Kingo stated that he cannot manipulate the events. Are the events set in stone where he can't change anything that is going to happen? For instance, like, you know, how Riki and Rin were throwing balls incredibly fast and how that fucking curve, that is bullshit. I saw that. Riki managed to hit the ball out of the freaking park, and then you had Kingo ask, like, can I not change events? So, right there, I'm guessing this new world, this time loop world, since it keeps repeating, since Kingo said that in this episode, makes me exactly wonder, why is the world repeating? What is causing it? It has to be to a certain extent of whatever's happening to Rin and Riki, because they're the two central parts of the story and what Refrain focuses on. So, what exactly happened? Are they dying at the end? Or are they just getting split up and going depression mode like Kyosuke is currently in? Exactly what is going on in that entire part to get the world to reset? And where is Kood? Where's Kuragaya? I want my Kuragaya. I'm really mad about that, but I mean, she's nowhere to be seen in this episode. Of course, we get to see their voices, we get to hear them, we get to see a little bit of flashbacks about them, but we don't get to see them, and I got freaking emotional in that scene, made me kind of upset, but still, this episode all around was freaking good. They had that emotional soundtrack that truly brings out the emotions in this baseball game. I love this freaking music, holy crap! This is some badass freaking BGM, oh man. And they had that awesome BGM that hasn't been played before in Little Busters at all. So I really loved the BGM when they were throwing ball, when Rin got up there on the plate like, I'm the pitcher, and starts throwing balls and all that. That was really freaking cool. Now, I have to say, I'm expecting a lot more next episode, because at the end of this episode of Little Busters Refrained, Kyosuke was shown in, like, looks like a broken down house, and it looks like he was beat up and he was punched all over. If I remember correctly, Kingo punched Kyosuke a couple episodes back, but that was, I'm guessing, in the other world, and it didn't look like Kyosuke had any black eyes. But in this, at the end of the episode, it looked like he had a black eye, he was bleeding from his mouth, he looked like he'd been through hell and back. And what the hell was going on in that entire scene? I mean, it was raining, and that's what I remember from the other world when it was raining, so many questions around that ending scene. I'm kind of confused about that. You visual novel players out there most likely know exactly what's going on. Of course, you played the visual novels up to this extent. But still, tell me what you think about this as always, about this episode of Little Busters Refrain. Tell me if they're adapting it properly. Have they rushed anything, or have they basically destroyed certain characters? To be honest, I really love this actual chapter completely focused on Kingo. It was a really good episode to focus on his character development and get to see what he truly thought, especially the way Kingo just stares at Riki at the beginning of this. He's like staring at getting the freaking death stare. I saw the feelings in the animation's eyes in Kingo. That was really awesome to be able to portray those emotions. And then they show us that heart-touching scene again where freaking Kingo's like, Kyosuke! Runs at him, all that. And then Kyosuke's like, call game. They had to show me that scene again because I almost got in tears again. Why would they do that? But it's still a point. Really emotional episode. And it's not the darkest episode I've seen, but still, it's a really good episode. Another thing I noticed about this episode that truly entertained me is definitely how the flow of this episode was really well done. I didn't feel like it was actually rushed in any certain way or form. It felt like the pacing was right on. Didn't feel too bad, and it felt like, you know, everything was understandable, especially for me as an anime-only viewer. I mean, I'm playing the visual novel, but still, I'm not that far into it. Now, another thing that was very interesting about this episode that had me quite confused, but at the same time, it brings up a big logical, I guess, plot development right there for Kingo, was that Kingo's hand was healed. He dropped out of his club, and is lying about his injury? What the hell is going on here? What the hell? Okay, so if you remember in the original Little Busters, he got his hand hurt, you know, in the middle of practice, he had to stop, you know, going to practice and get in his club. So that's why he joined Little Busters in the first place of the baseball team. We find out in this episode that Kingo's hand is already healed, and he was wanting to use his right hand, but he couldn't since he had to fake that it was still hurt. So, our question right there is, how long has Kingo's hand truly been healed? And has every world he's been in recently been just basically him faking his hand being broken? There's a question right there. How long has it truly been healed? There's so many different things about this episode that are brought up. And getting to see the determination of Ren and Riki in this episode with that music when they wanted to beat Kingo was beautiful. They did a good job of that, especially the animation in the background. The animation was top quality in this episode also. It was really good animation that had me going. It was really a lot of good eye candy. There's not much more I could cover on this episode of Little Busters. It just had a lot of emotions and feels for anyone that loves a good emotional ride trip on an anime. No, the Kingo's crying! Come on now! No! Don't do this to me! No! Bravo, JC staff. Bravo. You managed to impress me. Wow, this Little Busters is getting better and better with each week. This was a truly emotional episode. Well, anyways, guys, I'll leave it to future Chibi. Well, everybody, I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please stay safe. You know, please have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. And if you enjoyed my video content, please subscribe to my channel. It means so much to me. Stay Chibi, and Chibi out.